really need to record this because this broke one of the biggest beliefs I had about AI callers. What it did, it just booked in a lead that makes $50 million a year and also does something else completely outrageous that I don't even think I can mention here. Like, the point is, this thing is fucking amazing. It's crazy how good this thing has gotten at just booking in people, booking in the right people and attracting the right people when it comes to booking in calls. Later on in the video, I'm gonna show exactly like a demo of how the whole thing works. But what you need to understand is this tech is absolutely insane. And at the moment, it's not even that hard to implement. It used to be pretty difficult to get something like this implemented, but now you just do a couple of things, you have a little setup, but then it's done and then it just works for you until it's not done. Now, first up, I want to tell you about how I first experienced this like on myself without even knowing that this was going to be an AI talking to me. And this is what makes like the whole story just that much more crazy, because I was trying to set up something with iMessage and I was trying to like talk to this guy to like talk me through the offer, talk me through everything. They were also trying to qualify me. But what ended up happening was I thought that I was speaking to a real person, but I was actually speaking to an AI for like 10-15 minutes without ever realizing it. And it was only after that I realized, oh shit, like when I started building this stuff out for my clients, they're like, oh damn, this conversation I had before was actually with an AI, but I never found out. Now, to give full context, like I'm not trying to sell you anything right here, but just to give you full context, with this AI caller stuff, I'm working with a company that has worked on appointments for gym launch. So like these guys, when it comes to calling and AI calling and everything, like they are the best of the best. The amount of knowledge that you can get from a company that just worked on something like this before with thousands, tens of thousands of calls, it's just absolutely insane. And I'll slowly go through everything I learned right here. The first thing you need to understand is that this is like an automation. It's just always ready to run. So whenever a person comes in, it acts like just like any other automation. It just sees, okay, person came in, we got a new phone number, and then it starts dialing. Whatever the automation you have set up, it's always ready. It's not like a AI that's something gonna trigger. It's like listening to something. No, it's an automation. It has a trigger, and then it's gonna go through the same flow every single time that a person comes in within 30 seconds. Second, I wanna talk about the common belief that I personally had, and I think a lot of people do, is that an AI like this will not attract or will turn away people or buyers who are more sophisticated, rich, like people who have more money are gonna see, okay, I'm talking to an AI, maybe I'm not really interested in that, I just want to talk to a real person, and it's gonna put them off and they're not gonna go on and into booking a call. But the thing that was crazy to me is that it's actually the reverse of it. And I want to tell you that by like giving you a little bit of a story that's gonna make it make sense of why it actually is the case. All right, so think of it like you're a person, you're a company owner. There's a company owner that has a company that makes millions, I don't know, making doors, okay? So you have this guy, makes millions of dollars, and he has a company of making doors. He comes into another company, and let's say this company is making some like product B there. Let's say they're making windows, or maybe even they're even making doors, like the same thing that he's doing. But he comes in, and what he sees in that factory is that they have a bunch of machines, like super high tech. Everything in the company is just running smoothly. Everything is automatic. Everything is running on autopilot. And now what do you think that business owner is gonna think about that company? The answer becomes obvious. It's obvious that when he sees a company that's doing all of these things over super well, everything's working, everything's smooth, he's gonna think, oh shit, these guys, they know what they're doing, they're a competent company, and I should probably work with them just because I see, okay, they can do a bunch of stuff so efficiently, so well, that probably if I work with them, it's also gonna turn this out on me, and my company is gonna be better because of it. And once a client or a prospect has the belief that your company is competent and knows what you're actually doing, like you are the people who know what's up, who know what the latest thing in the industry are, okay, this is someone I want to work with. And on top of that, it's gonna enhance it for those people who have that specific knowledge, who are gonna be able to recognize, okay, this is high tech, this is people I should work with. Because on the other side, someone who just like a B2C, like a customer, regular person, won't notice it and won't think, oh shit, this actually shows that they are a good company because they have that, because they won't recognize that opportunity compared to someone who can instantly see, okay, this is high tech, this is whatever, I should probably work with them. Compared to someone who's more sophisticated, who's gonna recognize what you're doing. And all you're looking for is just a little thought to come up in their head that says, okay, this is probably something I could use, and then it's just cake. What's important though is that if they ask, am I talking to an AI, you want to be upfront about it. You want to say, yeah, this is a virtual assistant, like the AI is going to say that, because if you don't, then it's going to show, okay, this company is probably being just dishonest with me. I'm noticing that this is an AI, but they're not telling me, and then it's going to act as something negative for your business. But then how do you go from that? The cool trick here is just how the AI handles the conversation. So you don't want to be like, they ask, is this an AI? And you say, yeah, this is an AI, blank. What you want to do is immediately lead the conversation on to the next point. So how it's going to answer, to give you an example, is, hey, am I talking to an AI right here? Yes, I'm a virtual assistant for this company. By the way, how many clients can you take on right now? And that way you're leading the conversation. So they see the thing, they hear the answer that you are an AI, or like the thing that's talking to them is an AI, but you immediately carry on the conversation, so you kind of just brush through it, and it doesn't become this big thing that is gonna stop the conversation. The other thing you could do is just make it funny. So instead of just saying, yeah, this is a virtual assistant, plugging into the conversation, what you could do is say, yeah, this is a virtual assistant. Matter of fact, our founder is just taking a nap at the moment, so he couldn't take your call. By the way, can you take any more clients? That way you make it a funny thing, and on top of like them seeing, okay, they're being honest with me, telling me that it's an AI, you might even make them smile, and it's gonna lead the conversation and make them even more engaged with what they're talking to. The important thing is that you just always lead the conversation with simple questions. So even if they ask something, even if they answer, let's say, can you take on any more clients? Yes. New question. Yes, no, easy. You want to be asking the questions that are easy to answer, but also slowly get them more and more qualified, or see if they are a qualified prospect when it then tries to book them into a call, if they are that ideal prospect you're looking for. And also, how I see it is, knowing this information right now is critical, because soon this is just going to become the standard. It's going to become standard for people to have AI answering within 30 seconds, 24/7. And once that becomes a standard, same thing as if like a phone, like 50 years ago, not every company had a phone, but now they do. So it's a standard. It's not like impressive. It's not anything. It doesn't give you benefit. So it's critical that if you know this information now, you want to implement it as fast as possible. And this, I promise you, this is not me trying to go buy this thing from you. You can just do anything you want. But if you want to get this implemented, if you want to be ahead of the curve, implement it today. Just realize that once everybody, like every single company, is going to have 30 seconds speed to lead and 24/7 availability, that's when it becomes a commodity. And that's when you cannot really get anything from it, right? Same thing with AI, like let's say ChatGPT. If you had it a year before when no one had it, it would bring you tremendous value. But right now, if you just had a little chatbot in there, not that useful. So get this implemented today. So now I want to show you a real conversation with the AI. I'm just going to switch to the desktop camera and call the AI right now. Okay, it's calling me now. So let's just pick up and let's see.
Hey, is this Rock?
Yeah, that's me.
Hey, Rock. It's Natalie from Ace Opti. Looks like you opted in about turning your audience into more booked calls. Glad you're here. So the quickest way I can help is to learn a bit about your business. What kind of business do you run?
Yeah, so I help coaches with like systems where it helps them booking appointments, more appointments.
That's awesome. Do you help coaches set up systems to get more appointments? And what do you help your clients achieve specifically?
So yeah, just I help them increase revenue, profit, everything like that. Nothing too hard.
Right? So you help them boost revenue and profit. And what offer are you currently selling?
So right now I'm doing an offer where I do everything on pay on results.
Got it. And have you sold this offer before?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, and roughly how big is your audience right now?
It's about 10,000 people, I'd say.
Great.
By the way, am I talking to an AI right here?
Yeah, you are. I'm an assistant for Ace Opti, here to help you get booked in and answer questions. So where is most of your audience coming from? Is it YouTube and Instagram or somewhere else?
Yeah, it's mostly Instagram and YouTube.
Okay, and about how many clients are you currently getting from your audience each month?
So right now, probably about 5 clients a month.
Got it. And roughly how many sales calls are you booking to get to those 5 clients?
Maybe around 15.
Right, and what are you...
Just to give you an idea. Yeah, that's kind of how it works. One thing I want to mention though is right now you probably notice, okay, yeah, this is most likely an AI, but why that's happening is also you went into watching that part of the video knowing, okay, he or I'm gonna be speaking to an AI. So you knew that, and then you were more prone to listening to it and you could notice it quicker. One little thing you might have noticed too, if you were really paying attention, is that while I was talking or not talking, you could see background noises in the beginning, like people laughing, people talking, like it's a real call center, which just adds to like it looks more realistic, it feels more realistic just because of those background noises, and it doesn't feel like a plain voice that's just doing everything in a vacuum. What's important here is just the understanding that this is going to be the future of how businesses qualify people to get them and turn them into clients. Now, to actually turn this into practice, what are the specific stages or specific parts of your business where you can implement these colors that are gonna just drive a higher percentage of people through your pipeline? Okay, first one is gonna be the obvious one. This is gonna be a lead nurture call. So this is gonna be once a lead comes in, once you get their phone number and email, this is gonna instantly call them and try to get them booked into an appointment, trying to qualify them. This is gonna be the first part. So this could call them repeatedly for a couple of days after they become a lead, after they opted in for your lead mail or whatever, however way you get your leads. This is gonna start calling them and trying to get them booked in. Now the second use case is a bit less obvious. This is gonna be for booked people. So people who are already booked in, maybe they booked in through a calendar, not through the AI. What it can do is gonna call them as soon as they book in. So just imagine this scenario. As soon as you book into a calendar, you immediately get a call from the company saying, hey, did you book this call? Okay, is this the right time? Is this confirmed? Okay, thank you. And that's gonna make them way more likely to show up just because you put in that extra effort and you actually confirm the call. And then the second part of this one could be calling them one day before the appointment is actually there. So it's just gonna call them, ask them again, okay, you're still good for a call. Do you want to reschedule maybe if they say they're not good for the call? And that way you don't miss out on people who booked in, forgot about a call or couldn't come, and then they knew that a day before and they just rescheduled there on the spot. Then number 3, this one is insane. Calling people who didn't show up. So immediately once you trigger a person, so once you set a person, okay, this person didn't show up to an appointment, it's gonna trigger that caller and call them, tell them, hey, you missed our appointment, do you wanna reschedule for this? So you're gonna get people who otherwise you probably maybe call them once on the call or when they missed the call, but then you forgot about them. Now the AI is gonna be there and call them until they book in a call again. Like the use cases of this are just endless. The fourth one you could do is a re-engage caller. So people who were a lead, maybe they booked a call, maybe they didn't book a call. After 60 or 90 days, you call them again and you ask them, look, is this still a problem you're having? Do you wanna book in a call? Do you wanna go and do like work with us? If no, cool, but then at least you saw like people might not have a problem right now, but they might do have that problem within 60, 90 days. So if you didn't call them, you wouldn't know that. But now you have something that's gonna automatically trigger 60, 90 days after they opted in, and it's gonna ask them again, hey, is this still a problem you have? Is this now an even bigger problem than it was before? And then the last one I have is just the biggest moneymaker here. It's database reactivation. So if you're a big company and you already have a bunch of numbers piled up for all different opt-ins, just set it up and call every one of those leads. Same script, same everything. Like obviously first you want to test what's gonna work best, but then you can just run it through everyone, booking appointments for people from people who you just have phone numbers. And before maybe you did email, you maybe did SMS reactivation, but now you're actually calling every single one of those people. And I truly believe that this is an insane opportunity. It's also something that I'm 100% certain that at some point all businesses are gonna use. But if you wanna make money from it, if you wanna be the first one to implement it, do this now. Go just find whatever you want. You don't have to do anything with me. Go and implement it now, because now is the time when this is gonna make profit. Once everyone has it, once this becomes a commodity, then once you implement it, you'll have to, but you're not gonna get any profit or any loss from it because everyone's gonna have it. But right now, if you wanna do it now, get it implemented, because now it's not the standard yet. And that's that. By the way, if you are someone who wants to work with me with stuff like this, getting more people through your pipeline, there's a link down below. It's gonna try to book you into an appointment so you can see how good the system performs on you personally. But yeah, if not, totally cool. If you like this video, leave a like, leave any comments, suggestions down below, and yeah, subscribe if you want help getting more and better clients.